Hello, my gorgeous, powerful, everyday women of the world. Welcome to the Startup Stories podcast, where the ambitious, everyday woman is heard, held, and served in life and business. I'm your host, Mia Frankel of Powerful Inc., the everydayest everyday woman, and the everyday woman's coach for living a peaceful and productive life. And yes, it's true, you can have it because I am living it every day. And in this podcast, I'm bringing you stories to remind you of what's possible so that you can stay sane, grounded, and growing as you deliver your purpose to the world among making lunches and going to work and doing laundry and all of the other things that make up our beautiful life. Rachael Davila is joining me today, you guys. This is going to be such a juicy conversation. She has created a business around virtual assistants. And so she has blown this up into so many beautiful and dynamic elements of her business. And it's going to be really great to chat with her about who she was, where she started, and what she's doing now. So she built her business and her life's work on service and support in the belief that no one's meant to build their dreams alone. Hello, alignment, because I bring everybody together. Like we gather at Powerful Inc. and we help each other out. So she's a virtual assistant mentor. She's an implementation strategist, and she just released a book called Do I Need a VA? She launched it in June of 2025. She had a in-person book event. Oh my God, which is great because I was just saying to her, a lot of these happen on Amazon these days. And I'm just going to lean into that a little bit because she not only is the founder and the leader of this virtual assistant business, she lives it herself. She has a team. She receives support. She brings others together to help create the mission, the dream. So it's very holistic. And it's all kind of been happening in the last few years. It started to gain momentum. It was only 4 years ago where she hired her first assistant and got to experience the client relationship of having a VA from both sides. Now she's bringing that forward to help business owners navigate the definitely scary part of hiring somebody and bringing them in, but then, creating the safety around how to do that for success and adapting yourself, like growing yourself into a woman who can receive that help that we all think we want. And typically, and Rachel, you'll educate us further on this, but it seems like that's always the first position a business owner wants to hire, right? Is we grow to a certain point and then we want somebody to do our email and our calendar and these other pieces of things. So I'm so excited to have you here and you just get to know you even more. Like already, you guys, she's very genuine and sweet and a super badass at the same time. It's crushing it out there.
Thank you.
So welcome,
Thank you.
Rachel. Let's
Thank
dive
you for
in.
having me.
Tell us a bit about where this started.
So I started my VA business 20 years ago. So at that book party, we were celebrating the birth of my book, but
Mhm.
also 20 years in business,
Amazing.
which, if you're an entrepreneur, small businesses, anything that lasts over 5 years, it's like, woohoo, yes, we did it. So it was a huge milestone. It is a huge milestone to
Mhm.
be able to say I've been in business 20 years. When I was working on the book, I had that time to reflect back on that journey. And,
Yeah.
you know, 20 years ago, no one knew what a VA was. It was a baby. It wasn't a new industry. It had been around. I mean, the program that I learned through had been in business 10 years by that point. So it wasn't a new thing. And I realized I had been doing virtual assistant work. I just didn't
Mhm.
know that's what it was. I didn't know it was a thing that, I mean, I was working for people virtually, but I didn't know that
Right.
I could be a virtual assistant.
Right.
And I found it by accident. I actually found another VA's webpage and read through the whole thing because I was
Okay.
being let go from my job and I had a young family and I was like, I don't want to work for somebody else who only looks at me as a line item on a spreadsheet,
Wow.
an
Yeah.
expense to be cut. I
Yeah.
wanted to work with people who valued the contributions that I brought to the table. I wanted to feel valued. And when I found virtual assistant, it was magic. I was like, I can make a business doing this. These are
Mm.
people who will want to work with me. And surprisingly, I did my very first warm interview with a potential client because I had a very niche.
Okay.
And I was like, this is what I'm thinking I want to do. Do you think it'd be something you could use? And she said, yes, you're hired. Like it
Wow.
was instant.
Wow.
And it was beautiful for 8 years. Right? I
Wow.
had great clients. It was easy. I mean, it wasn't easy. Nothing is ever easy. I mean, I learned a lot of lessons in the beginning. But then the industry that I was in imploded, and all of my clients retired out or closed their side of the
Okay.
business, and I found myself adrift. Who do
Mhm.
I work for now? What do I
Mhm.
do? Do my skills transfer to other industries, or was I only a one-hit wonder because
Right.
I knew this one so well? And so that my confidence took a big hit at that point. And then that was also when I started to really look at the broader picture of business ownership because being a virtual assistant is a business. We are business
Yeah.
to business with our clients. And so a lot of the things that I had kind of taken for granted or hadn't really considered or learned were like in my face. Like, it's
Um,
time you learn this. Let's figure
mm,
this out. And I'm pretty sure that's when my growth arc started, right? Like, it came so easy in the beginning that it was
yeah.
like, okay, now you have to learn what this means. And so, fast forward 2021, my daughter went away to college. I moved into her room and energetically I felt like my business could expand
Okay.
because as I said before we recorded, I
Right.
there's 5 people living in my house and my office has always been kind of shoved into a corner because I have to share with everyone else. I mean, I didn't have a door for a long time
Right.
and I just felt like I always had to play it small because of where, right?
Okay.
Somebody could walk in at any time, so I
Yeah.
couldn't do a number of things that might have been more private, more
Yeah.
security, or like podcasting, right? If someone's
Yeah.
walking in, you can't
Yeah.
necessarily pause and stop recording. So a lot of my dreams kind of got put on hold, or I didn't even think about them to begin with. And I
Right.
think a lot of clients come because they're like, okay, I'm thinking too small, and in order to grow, I need to think bigger,
Yeah.
but bigger is scary,
Yeah.
And I think for a long time I was okay with playing small. I could focus on my clients' dreams. I didn't have to worry about my own.
Yeah.
And but in 21, my business tripled. Virtual summits were really big, and I went from my regular clients to taking on 5 virtual summits,
Okay.
kind of all at once. And
Boy.
let me
My
tell you,
God.
that is not the best way to learn that business success when it happens
Yeah.
overnight,
Yeah.
literally. I didn't have the foundation. I
Yeah.
didn't have the structures in place. I was not at all prepared. I did the work, I made it happen, but I left the experience with a little bit of PTSD. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, if
Oh
that's
yeah.
what success looks like, I am not ready for it. And a coach friend suggested that I hire a VA to help me. And it was, I laughed at first, like a VA who has a VA. I don't want to be a team. I don't want to manage
Right.
people. Like, I don't want to be responsible for bringing in work that then for somebody else. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, well, I could just hire someone to do the things I don't want to do
Mhm.
for myself. And I did none of the pre-work I talk about in the book.
Right.
None of it. I didn't even know there was pre-work,
Yep.
which is most clients. And I hired my friend's child who is a high school senior, loves graphic design. It was like, perfect,
Yeah.
let's work together.
Yeah.
And realized very early on that the expectations that I had held that hiring someone would look like hiring me. I
Hmm.
was looking for a me for me.
Hmm.
That's not what I got. I got a very green, new, not thinking it's a business, just interested in doing the work
Hmm.
type of person who was wonderful. I mean, the
Yeah.
graphics were gorgeous, but I found myself having to mentor and lead the whole relationship, and that wasn't what I had thought it was going to look like.
Hmm.
So I had to do a lot of learning from the client side of, oh, that's why clients get so scared about hiring a VA because they go in expecting a Rachel and they get a doer, somebody who's just going to do the work. And so now I educate clients on those myths, those things that out there is no defined definition of what a virtual assistant is.
Hmm.
And the term is used for everything now.
Okay.
Any kind of assistant that can do things virtually. I mean, you go to a website and there's the chatbot. Hi, I'm your virtual
Yeah.
assistant. Let me help you through this website, and all the way to executive level support.
Hmm.
And it's not a one size fits all term. There are layers within the terminology. And I think a lot of people, they just come because they're in that state of overwhelm. They haven't done any
Yeah.
of the research or the legwork. And so I've had so many potential clients come to me because I've hired someone and it didn't work. VAs don't work. And it's no, you just hired the wrong kind. Let's go through what happened and see what we can do differently. And that conversation is a whole different standing for the client than just saying, tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Yeah. So there's a few things to unpack out of all of that if you guys picked this up while listening. Rachel found a niche, which I like that double down into that. I'm like, what is it? Um, and was working away. You did a pivot. You found something new, started working away at it. But what I really want to highlight here, because I'm in the corner of the bedroom, my husband just walked through, and he probably will again around the top of the hour, but we might be close to done by then. Um, it's feeling certain ways when circumstances around us give us excuses to stay in that. And that's not to discredit by any stretch. There are certain things about working online where you do need more freedom. And so, like, this is a corner of our bedroom, and this isn't even a full wall beside me. So, noise, etc. Late at night, not a good time. In the morning, he's not in here, so I can have at her. This is our closet, and I kind of want to move into there because then I'll have full walls, be closed in. I'm like picturing my corner shaped desk. But I'm not letting those circumstances determine what I can and can't do now.
Yeah.
And I tell him every morning before I have a podcast that that's what's happening so we know what to expect in the household flow. But you guys, if you've been listening to my show since the beginning, thank you. But also, the first episode I recorded in the back of the car outside because it was so early and I didn't know what was going to happen in the house. And I was kind of shrinking to fit in. And now, like you moving into your daughter's room, you shift the dynamic where you put yourself as a priority. And so the whole point of this is finding small shifts that you can do now that create that feeling,
Yeah.
right? Different boundaries, different door access times, moving somewhere in the house. For us, these walls were, this is an old door, obviously, and these walls were free on the used classifieds online. They're old office portable walls, and my husband's handy, so like he rejigged them up
Yeah.
and built me a wall. I wish it went to the ceiling, but I'll take what I can get now because I was able to customize with this wicked background,
Yeah.
furniture in here and stuff like that. So there's ways we can do that. And then the other pieces, and Rachel, I didn't share this, but I kind of started as a virtual assistant or like executive assistant, right? And then I grew into OBM and then I started
Mhm.
drowning and now I've shifted to life coach. But as a VA OBM, it was like, oh my God, the preparatory work. And that piece that you're talking about and the piece of the overnight success, we all think we want our post to go viral. And then, yeah, we're going to live the dream life. No, girl, like you got to lift the weights at appropriate amounts for such amount of time until your capacity increases to do more. And listening to you talking about, being ready, I need a VA, I can't wait, I can't wait. And yes, but, or yes, and if you want them to be successful, you actually have to become the leader who can help integrate. And the image I was getting is like, okay, it's moving day and the movers have come, but you haven't packed anything. And like the
Right.
bedroom's in the kitchen and the kitchen's in the backyard and like the bathroom's on the roof. Like everything is upside down because you think you've just been trying to get clients and get the work done, but you haven't adopted what I'm hearing you say, that CEO mindset of really running a business. And then you learn lessons, when they come forward and you have to make these adjustments
Yeah.
and shift it around. So then you had to do this with your own VA experience, right? Like,
Yeah.
oops, subject matter expert, egg on face. Oh, whoops.
Well, and I think that it was more because I've always been the doer. So I can do this myself
Mhm.
mentality that a lot of, especially women business owners hold that, well, I can do it. So
Yeah.
let me just do it. I mean, in the beginning, my VA would send me the graphics to look at, and I would go in and I would make those little tweaks. And then I realized like I was the bottleneck because
Yeah.
if I didn't explain to them the tweaks that I were making, they wouldn't learn, and I'd
Yeah.
always have to go in. And so it was a mindset shift to be okay, yes, it will take me 10 or 15 minutes to explain why I want it this way. But if I do that now, I don't have to do it every
Yeah.
single time. It will
Mm.
save me time and energy later. And that for a doer, right? When we've been wearing all the hats and we've been doing all the things, it's like, well, I don't have time for that. Well, in the beginning of working with a VA, you need to budget that time
Thank you.
because even the very best virtual assistant is not a mind reader.
Mhm.
We have multiple clients. You as a VA, as an OBM, you have more than one client. You're working with multiple people. So the things that you would look at
Mhm.
may not be the same things that I am a perfectionist on,
Yeah.
right? And vice versa. So we all need to kind of have those first couple of months to learn your voice, your brand,
Mhm.
your eye, those kinds of things. And so I didn't take that into account, even though I tell clients all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
it was really it I had to shift the mindset, which I didn't even realize that was a piece because as a VA, I always stepped in and I expected my
Mm,
clients to have done that work ahead of time. Like I didn't even know it was a thing until I was faced with it. And so it's changed even how I approach taking on new clients because, you know, now I understand. I'm like, okay, did you do this? Do we have this?
yeah,
Like I can
yeah,
ask totally different questions from this side because I did my own work on it.
yeah,
But yeah, it's and you don't really know what you don't know until you step in and you're like, okay, I guess I'll hire somebody. Oh, there's homework. Oh, there's pre-work. Oh, I need to do what now? You mean you're not just gonna take this on and my life is magically gonna, improve? It will. It does take time, but I mean, I know from experience, if you do the steps, if you take that time in the first couple of months,
yeah.
it really does flow a whole lot easier.
Yeah, it's an important investment in the future of your business and in the future leader that you would become,
Yeah.
right? And I completely relate to the um, such familiarity with the work that we kind of can't see it because when I started to shift things from OBM to life coach, I was my own OBM and I was
Yeah.
staying behind the scenes and I was
Yeah.
staying in the admin and weeds and I had built decent systems already, but I just kept kind of hiding in there until I had a bit of an aha that I need to put myself on stage now rather than be the woman behind the stage for the other one all the time. And
Yeah.
I've been like crawling out ever since. Maybe now I'll stand on there a bit more proud, but it's still like, oh yeah, oh yeah. And I would notice that we do expect this like miracle hire to come in and whoosh, but it's not
Mhm.
fair to them and it's not fair to you because here's the miracle you're praying for, and you haven't done the preparation for it. And then, we typically, as adults, one bad experience, we never want to do it again. And that's a shame because the good value of it is missed. And then the VA world kind of gets this bad rap that they don't deserve when it's really the leaders who are failing them and not the opposite.
Yeah.
So, your business has expanded a lot, right? Like now you're books and coaching and speaking, all these different things. So from 2021 to now, what changes were you going through as a woman and, in your family and in your identity to go deeper?
So many. Okay. So I just realized I was listening to another podcast and they were talking about perimenopause.
Mhm,
And I'm going, that was me. That was me. And it wasn't the physical symptoms, it was the emotional and mindset shifts
mhm,
that we go through. Because apparently we all do it. We all go through this growth arc and it shows up for us differently. Obviously, everyone finds their teachers and guides in their own way. When my business exploded, I came out on the other side with diabetes, my hair falling out. Like I was so sick because I didn't listen to my body. I didn't pay attention. I just assumed it was stress and that it would ameliorate once I was on the other side of it. But what it showed me was I can't do this on my own anymore.
mhm,
And what I learned is so many of us, especially women, we tend to push through those mayday moments when we're free falling
yeah,
and we don't recognize that that's what's happening. Like I was just like, I just got to get to the other side of these summits. I just got to get the
mhm,
work done. I just got to get to here, right?
mhm,
That goal line. that I didn't stop to breathe, to pause, to get up and walk around, to
Hmm.
eat food, right? Like I just butt in the seat, just doing the work. That when I crashed, it was a crash. Like it took so much time to recover
Hmm.
from it that even the idea of hiring someone was too much
Right.
at that first time. Like the idea of having to, even in that like overwhelm, to be able to reach out for the lifeline that I knew could help me. I didn't even have like the strength, the emotional bandwidth to do that.
Yeah.
And so it even took time after that to recover enough to be able to go, okay, now I'm at least ready to like explore the idea of it. And the mindset shifts through the whole thing, right? Can I let go of perfectionism?
Mm-hmm.
What is mine to control in this situation? And do I still want to control it? Right?
Hmm.
I had so many really wise teachers holding up that mirror, like, why are you trying to control so much? Why are you holding on to so things so tightly?
Yeah.
And it was around that time, like my baby went to college. I was going through so many identity shifts all at once. It literally felt like a personal earthquake. Like,
Right. Wow. Beautiful words.
who am I if I'm not
Hmm.
the social director, the taxi driver, the cook,
Hmm.
right? Like all of the things that motherhood
Hmm.
infuses into our lives. Plus, now, if I hand this off, who am I if I'm not the doer of
Yeah.
the tasks? And, I think at the beginning, definitely, I was holding so tight to what I knew my identity was that I couldn't even dream bigger of who I could become if I released that control of the things that
Yeah.
I didn't actually want to do anymore, right? Like I didn't I
Yeah.
I am a creative graphic layouter. I'm not a designer. I'm like
Hmm.
social media, I enjoy doing it, but there are people who do it way better than me,
Hmm.
and I'm happy to let them do it. Now, at that time it was like, who am I if I'm not the one
Yeah.
doing it,
Yeah.
right? And so I think even more than the actual handing off, it was that acknowledgement that I was holding on too tight to an identity I didn't want to wear anymore, but I didn't have the vision of what it could be if I let it go, who I could become.
Yeah.
And I I started what I call my healing journey, which
Hmm.
was that peeling back the layers of programming, of existing limiting beliefs, all of those kinds of things, and really going, do you even want that anymore? And then being able to honestly say to us, no,
Yeah.
right? But I remember very clearly I was in a You Could Heal Your Life workshop, the Louise Hay book. It was a book
Mm.
study. And the teacher was saying, we did this whole deservability exercise. And
Mm.
I'd never even heard the word deservability. It was like, what do you deserve? And what can you accept? And what can you receive? And yeah, I kid you not, like everything clicked into place because it wasn't so much what could I imagine? I could imagine beautiful
Hmm.
outcomes,
Hmm.
but having to face what I would accept for myself,
Yeah.
what I felt I deserved, it felt like a put like I couldn't breathe, like someone
Yeah.
kicked me in the stomach. It was like, oh. right now, this version of me can't accept real help, real success, real growth, right? I
Mm,
wanted to be a coach, but I couldn't even call myself a coach because I didn't take a certification. I
mhm,
didn't get right?
mhm,
And everyone was saying, you don't need to. You've got
mhm.
years of experience. You know your stuff. You
Yeah,
can totally do this. But if I didn't believe it, I could, everyone else could believe it for me, but if I
yeah,
didn't, I couldn't manifest it.
that's right.
And so I think that was the biggest shift over the last, like, especially that first year. And then, like, doing that work to clear
Mhm.
those beliefs, to do the affirmations and, consistent repetition of, you deserve this, you can accept this, you can receive this. And then, you know, doing that in small baby increments.
Thank you. Yes.
I mean, from that version of me to this version of me,
Mhm,
I remember the moment I was doing a book study with a friend of mine. We were reading The Big Leap by Gay
mhm,
Hendricks. And that really is what started it. But I remember having that epiphany that my zone of genius was not being a virtual assistant, doing VA work.
mhm,
It was that coach, that mentor, that, because looking back, all the times when I was the most energized, the most excited about what I was doing was helping people to take that next step for
mhm.
their business, for their growth. And it was like, I remember sitting there going, but I can't be a coach.
Yeah.
And now I look back and I'm like, well, baby girl, you did all the steps. You healed all the cracks. You did all the things to get here
Mhm,
now.
mhm.
Probably it's about 4 years later
Yeah.
where I can honestly say that version of you couldn't, but this version of you can.
Right.
And it's been an amazing journey of seeing how it all showed up, all the is that true? Work had, like
Yeah.
all the things that I had to do
Yeah.
along the way. And even now, you had talked about how even as in your business, you lean back on your OBM and you do that. I never had a CRM before.
Mhm.
20 years in business, never had a
Yeah.
CRM. I've helped
Yeah.
clients, do stuff.
Yeah.
But now I'm having to outline, template, decide what does that process look like, and putting it all into place so that even now the dreams that I have, I'm like, I can see you and I
Right.
know I'm doing the things to get to you.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet because I'm still like right now, I'm still doing that foundation stuff so that when that growth happens, right?
Mhm.
When my video goes viral and all the people come, I have those things in place. I
Yeah.
have at least the understanding that if my current team can't support it, I know people who can step in and and I know what I would want them to take over and stuff. So yeah, that whole journey, and it wasn't overnight. It was
No.
years. It was years of baby steps to get to this point even. And I know there's years of baby steps to get to
Ahead.
whatever the next
Right.
level is, but you know, that leveling up thing, man,
It's real.
is real.
It's real.
Real.
It's real, and it shouldn't be rushed. It's sacred. Like Rachel, I'm having so many beautiful emotions listening to you talk, and you're very eloquent. Like personal earthquake. What a gorgeous combination of words. And it very much is the difference, you guys, is that this version of Rachel now is going to scale sustainably. And she's not going to suffer injury the way she did before by pushing and forcing and controlling and efforting. And the imagery that came up for me is one of my favorite examples of the waterfall being a reciprocal cycle, a reciprocal environment. But what we tend to do in our um, ambition and our excitement to get to a destination is like shove the water off the waterfall in avalanche mode, and then it crashes. And then there's indications and angels and signs that are trying to get water back in, but we've built like the Hoover Dam behind us. No, water's only going out. No water's coming back. It's gotta, that's it. It's all me. Woo. And if you're listening physically, I'm like shoving hands forward. So pop over to the YouTube at the top of the podcast and get the visuals. Um, but this is the thing. And through that lesson now, you can complete the cycle. And so this is the big piece that I always want you, beautiful listeners, to take away. There is no rush. It's not a cliche. It is making sure that you are taking care of yourself and that you are actually building smartly and not doing what the internet has promised you through, sensational marketing. Again, the whole point of this podcast is we didn't see the iceberg below the water. We just saw the tip. And the tip is not the full story. And the tip is like a glamorized outcome. And I really want us to appreciate, because this is my growth journey. I am daily tugging on my leash saying, heal, Mia, heal, you're fine. And it is making such an internal shift in my spirit and in my energy and in my sense of safety. I was operating from a lot of what you described, a sense of urgency, a sense of rushing, a sense of, you know, having to, again, like force, shove, drag, pull to get to an outcome. And in the end, the actual outcome, like, because who are we? Who are we above our work, above motherhood, above spousal? Who is Rachel standing alone with herself? Who is Mia and Susan and Sandra and Natalie and Julie and
Yeah,
whoever else is listening? you know, and then from there, you lead with that deeper alignment, that deeper sense of self trust. And this is why I say peaceful and productive, because, like, basically anything that comes my way in the day, I can now handle much more calmly. You guys, it doesn't mean things don't still get to me, as I'm sure they still don't push and test Rachel, but we've built a better, and this just dropped yesterday, self navigation tool. I'm like, going to be so forget self development, all that self navigation. You are leading yourself through storms, you are leading yourself through clear skies and finding stable momentum, stable progress through all that, which then now for Rachel means that she could release a book and plan that event in a very beautiful, holistic, and celebratory way, and now get herself ready for more Rachel, more service, more impact without it being 5 summits at once plus the 10 or whatever VA clients you had while the kids and the family life and everything is crunching in on you, right?
exactly.
So like you must feel, for me it always feels like sunshine, that open spacious spirit feels like sunshine and calm, right? So now as you stand on this version and looking ahead, what are you trusting about yourself and what are you looking forward to exploring, experimenting?
I think the thing that I'm most excited that I know is coming is the shift to more coaching,
Mm,
helping business owners really figure out what they're looking for and then helping connect them to the right fit,
mhm,
whether that's me or a VA in my directory or somebody else entirely. It's that clarifying what they actually need, not just who's going to do the task list,
Yeah.
because VAs can get anything done even if they're not the ones doing it, but that deeper, you know, what are my actual gaps and who do I need to fill those?
Hmm.
The tasks come along with that.
Hmm.
But a lot of my clients are ADHD. They're big picture
Yeah.
visionaries. They are not even capable of getting down to those individual tasks. So they need somebody who can do that with them.
Hmm.
And, you know, so it's that I love the education piece. I love that sharing knowledge. I love the asking the right question at the right time to get to the real heart of what they're looking for,
That's it.
not just what they think they're looking for, and helping them get to that right person.
Yeah.
Knowing you might have to kiss a couple
Yeah.
frogs, but knowing that they have at least the knowledge base to go, all right, Rachael said this might not be a forever relationship, but what can I take away from it? What can I learn from it? Is it the next stepping stone to my next better VA?
Hmm.
Like where it's not fear-based, it's knowledge-based, so you can make real decisions
Yeah.
for yourself, for your business, for what you want. Like a lot of business owners don't think that way they've until you get some clarity or you start doing whatever journey we've been on to
Yeah.
get that
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So even just being the starting point of that journey would be an amazing place for me to be.
Yeah. And you can see like the sense of fulfillment that you feel when you talk about that. And it's lifting their heads up, right, to
Yeah.
see what their blind spots are, rather than that, I'm going to say cash grab, although it's not necessarily cash, but like that
Yeah.
manic get the thing to help me do the other thing. And
Yeah.
then it just overcomplicates what they actually need. So it's bringing safety, calmness, and a bit more thought planning, proactive thought planning, proactive strategy before just knee jerk reaction to something.
Yeah.
And that's really, to me, sounds like business mentoring, business coaching to create a better leader who can then open up to have a successful team and to receive, because that's the other trip. Oh, I don't want to ask them to do that, but you're paying them. I know, but like I can do it myself and it'll just be faster, and like they're so nice, and no, this is, I was picturing myself listening to you describing the experience that your clients are going to have and are having with you, of like, because I'm a friendly puppy and I just want everybody to be happy. But I'm like, okay, so when I get ready, I'm going to be that friendly puppy, but I'm also going to be clear about expectations, with like a human reasonableness there too. But that's asserting my leadership and my mission in bringing somebody else into the mix, and in a place of authority, like I'm allowed to do that. That's you guys, like a standing into rather than like a shrinking as you hire a team member. And it's a significant shift with Rachel has beautifully expressed to us through her journey.
Thank you.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about your book a little bit as we kind of wrap up?
So a precursor to the book is on my website. I have a Are You Ready for a VA quiz? So it basically asks 7 questions, and by the end, I'm ready, I'm almost ready, I'm not ready. And what the book does is it's an how-to guide to help you become more ready. And what do you need to work on so that, if you already know what your Handoff list is great. Take that. What kind of VA do you need? What's your budget? What what are the qualities beyond the task list that you need in a person? And how to ask questions in the interview to determine, do
Mhm.
they fit that? And then onboarding. What does onboarding look like for you? What projects are you going to start with? What do they need to access that? So it really is from mindset to onboarding. It's step by step.
Mhm.
And um, I feel like if you're thinking, hey, do I need a VA? Then you're already on the journey. And whether you're ready for it right now or in a year from now or even a couple years from now, the book gives you that, sorry, morning alarm.
Oh.
Um, the book will give you that guide to going, okay, oh, I didn't even think I needed that. Oh, I didn't know I needed that. It gives you those kinds of things where, yes, you start working with someone, things you couldn't even foresee show up, but at least you kind of know, well, all my passwords are in a password vault and I know
Mhm.
how to share them now. I have all of my processes outlined so a VA could step in and say, I can take these things, we can template these things, right? They can point to the missing elements that because it's in your brain, you don't necessarily think
Yeah.
about, but it can give you that great starting place. And so it's not a be all end all, it's just a how to guide to get started. And if you, and I learned I need to read information, I need to see the words on the page. But if you're auditory, a lot of the information in the book is in our first season of our podcast, Hey, Do I Need a VA? So if you're an auditory
Mhm.
learner, it's
Mhm.
there. Because I realized that not everyone learns the same way I do.
Yeah.
And, I'm more of I need to read it and then I need to do it. I
Yeah.
need that hands-on piece. So if you're a hands-on doer, then I offer coaching and I can take you through the process and go, okay, no, you need that. What about that? And I bring
Yeah.
the VA brain
Yeah.
to the table so that by the end of the coaching sessions, you've done all the work and you will feel more confident in what you're doing. And for business owners who are ready, who know what they're looking for and everything, I offer um, referrals. I have a referral directory because I love
Mhm.
to meet, I call, and I say like, I like to collect VAs and specialists
Yes.
because
Beautiful.
um, if I'm not the right fit, I want to
Mhm.
share my network with
Yeah.
people because they're all wonderful VAs that I've met, worked
Yeah.
with, collaborated with, and for me, it's not about your task list, even though that's a great starting point. It's the chemistry, it's the
Mhm.
fit, right? You wouldn't marry someone who had all the same qualities on their dating profile, right? You'd want to date them, meet them,
Yeah.
and decide like, oh yeah, we do have some chemistry. So I always tell clients, interview at least three
Mhm.
because you never know, even if the first one is like love at
Mhm.
first sight.
Mhm.
Um, but it's my mission really is to educate business owners what they need to know when they're looking to find, hire, and work with a VA. Because it's not just, here's my to-do list, do
Yeah.
it. There's a whole lot more, like you said, below the surface of that.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right. Well, we'll share your links in, and I just thank you for you guys. She woke up at 6 a.m. local time for her too to join me. You're in California, so you're just south of me, right?
Yeah,
So I really appreciate that. And it was a really beautiful conversation again. Yeah, you're
me
very
too.
eloquent and um, like you're deep. You have a deep spirit inside and you know yourself now, right? Like you have a much more intimate relationship with yourself. Your business helped you get to know yourself more. and get to know who you are beyond just your business, which is such an important piece. That's when momentum and new, I don't know, experimentation can come because we're freer, right? We're just freer to be our whole self. It's super beautiful.
Oh, one last thing.
Yeah, please.
I will tell anyone listening, even if it's not a virtual assistant, creating the space by handing stuff off is what allowed a lot of the new creativity to come
Hmm.
for who I became next. If I had if I had stayed holding tight to all the things that I couldn't let go, none of this would have happened.
That's it.
None of it.
Yeah.
And letting go and recognizing that I could let it go and still, like, I wasn't gonna fall. Like
Yeah.
if I let go of
Yeah.
that rope, I wasn't gonna fall.
Yeah.
And if I did fall, it was into something better, right?
Hmm.
And so the universe likes to fill a void, and it fills it with magic. Like,
Hmm.
so much creativity can download because you create the space for it. And I believe that wholeheartedly because I've
Yeah.
seen it work.
Yeah. 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 I second that for sure. Beautiful. All right. Well, let's leave it on that. That's a beautiful high note. So thank you so much, Rachel.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day. All right, you guys. Well, that was a beautiful conversation, and I am going to start experimenting with adding a closing and promoting myself a little bit more. Because why wouldn't I, with all of this wonderful stuff that I'm doing for you guys and for me? So, if today's conversation lit up something in you, if you felt seen, supported, or inspired in any way, I want to personally invite you into the space where all of this comes alive in real time. How does Mia do it? Because she's put the work into becoming a woman who can hold podcast coaching, etc., different things. The place for you to go next, for you to have more fulfillment and community, is in Startup School, my monthly membership for the everyday ambitious women who are building their business one aligned and courageous day at a time. You'll get clarity, structure, sisterhood, and real conversations to help you grow without burning out or going alone. We learn so much more about ourselves with a community to reflect it back to us. It also holds us in the in between when we're feeling weary and celebrates with us when we're feeling excited. So, if you've been listening to the show and you're thinking you want women like this around you, you want support like this, then come into Startup School. You'll be held, guided. There's teachings around systems, there's special guests, there's a lot of hanging out together and talking things out with women just like you, wearing multiple hats, very purpose driven, very heart led builders who just want more peace, confidence, and momentum and community. So you don't have to do this alone. In fact, I refuse to let you. Come join me in Startup School. You can find the link at my website, powerfulinc.com/courses. It's at the top of the offer list there. Come join us. It's a very affordable monthly membership, but what you get out of it is priceless. Love you guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next episode.